Chile Tzu Chi volunteers give financial support to an ill boy's family and accompany him to regain his health. The first Tzu Chi long-term care center in Nantou hosts its opening ceremony to serve seniors in the community. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. A 12-year-old boy from Nantou in Chile had a high fever and went into a coma. He was diagnosed with meningitis and needed to stay in the ICU. His parents weren't able to work due to his care, spending them into a financial crisis. They've written a letter to Tzu Chi, and volunteers immediately went visit them to provide emotional and financial support. Now that the boy has recovered and is finally able to walk again, the parents were extremely thankful. Every step this little boy takes comes after a difficult battle with death.
We are going to Talca from Santiago. It takes about 2.5 hours to drive. We are caring for a 12-year-old boy because he is in a dangerous situation in ICU.
He had a high fever when he was sent to the hospital. He was in a coma and the condition was dangerous. The doctor said he might result in PVS. I never thought that Tzu Chi will give us such large support. You're all angels sent from above.
You helped us selflessly, asking nothing in return. Your love is the greatest gift for us.
Today we brought the red envelope of wisdom and blessings from Dharma Master Zheng Yan. We hope to help this child rebuild his confidence so that he can be able to walk and get back to his life soon.
In Jordan, many refugees outside of their refugee camp lack medical resources. In the past 3 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been hosting free clinics in Mafraq province and underwent surgical operations for refugee children. This time, the free clinic team revisited the place to help more in need. It was raining all the way from Amman to Mafraq province. To assist local residents to seek medical attention, Tzu Chi volunteers traveled for several hours to host a free clinic. The refugees flocked in to see doctors. Among the 230 cases, about 85% of them were in need of surgical operations.
我问过医师，医师说，因为现在他们目前的生活环境也差，卫生条件就差，所以基本上就很容易得病。
The tent area in the refugee camp is cold and windy. Tzu Chi volunteers have found a 10-month-old baby boy to possess feminine organs, which may need to undergo a transsexual surgery in the future. The free clinic this time targeted on refugees who lived in remote areas. Some children have been delaying their treatments for 3 years. Volunteers' heart goes out to the parents who constantly worry about their ill children. To alleviate the pain of all the patients in need, the medical team of Tzu Chi's free clinic in Cambodia also went to remote areas to make house calls for those who were not able to physically visit the free clinics.
Curling up in bed, Sam Van, who suffers from cerebral palsy, has been staying in this small space for 34 years. His sister would like to bring him to Tzu Chi for medical treatment, but they do not have any vehicle. To their surprise, the doctor came to visit them.
Her sister takes good care of him, so we gave her encouragement. Because of her attentive care, her brother's bed sores have healed. It's really beyond our expectations.
Dr. Lin carefully examines Sam Van's health and reminds his sister about important details in healthcare. Before the medical team leaves, they give Sam Van a wheelchair.
This individual can actually respond to our questions, so his illness should only affect his body movement. We are trying to improve his living condition and encourage him to interact with people. Sometimes he can speak clearly, and we can understand him. We are trying everything possible to help him.
Volunteers and medical professionals also came to a volunteer translator's home. Her 91-year-old grandmother has been bedridden after having a stroke 3 years ago. She hopes the doctor can provide her with some care advice.
I really didn't expect that doctors from Tzu Chi not only offer medical services at the free clinic, but they were also willing to go to remote areas to check health for those who are unable to leave their home. I'm deeply touched.
At the free clinic, the 7-year-old boy's belly is swollen like a pregnant woman. The medical team and volunteers will help transfer him for treatment.
I took him to a hospital for examination, but the medical bills are very expensive. We're not able to afford them. Since his belly is getting bigger and bigger, this makes him feel uncomfortable. Our hearts also go out to him.
There are patients like this grandma who have no money to seek medical attention. Feeling for the impoverished situations of the residents, a local Dharma master volunteers to help with translation.
Tzu Chi volunteers who come here, they are happy to join, to sharing their money, their time, their energy with Tzu Chi mission, without tired, even tired, but still happy.
I really respect to all the doctor and all volunteers that they spend their own time, and really thankful.
At the free clinics, the doctors have found out that most of the children have cavities and people have suffered from muscle soreness and joint pain. The medical staff try to understand the cause of these symptoms, hoping to provide the proper treatment for them.
Children are the future builders of the nation. In the remote area of the Takeo province, most of the children have tooth decay.
I was a school nurse in both elementary and middle school. I would ask the children to look at their teeth with a mirror. And I found out that most of the children have cavities, which had caused inflammation of surrounding roots of teeth. So I showed them a picture of healthy teeth and tooth decay for them to compare. Also to let their mothers or grandmothers know the importance of dental care.
On the other hand, some of the female residents don't even know that they are pregnant.
Around 4 to 5 patients didn't do pregnancy tests. Therefore, they don't know they are pregnant in their pregnancy period as well. Fortunately, we have the ultrasound equipment. We did checkups and gave them tips for taking care of their newborn baby to let them know that having a child is wonderful and life-changing. These new mothers should be excited for their baby's arrival.
During the free clinics, the doctors found out that most of the residents work in the labor force, and their daily habits have led them to pain in their joints and muscles.
From the point of view of traditional Chinese medicine, most of them have cold and dampness. We talked to patients and found out that they usually take cold showers and sleep on the ground. These daily habits have caused weakness in their bones and joints.
Almost all of the patients have headaches, muscle soreness, and stomach ache. These symptoms might be related to their eating habits. The local residents like to drink ice-cold water. They also like to eat food that are marinated or sour and spicy. Among the patients, 3 of them have been coughing for a long period of time. 2 of them have been coughing for 2 months, and the other one is for more than a year.
Takeo province lacks medical resources, and it is difficult for residents to seek medical attention. Therefore, Tzu Chi Tima had conducted free clinics to provide treatment for them, hoping to ease their pain.
In Nantou, the first Tzu Chi long-term care center has been established. The center is located at the Zhushan Jingsi Hall. In our report, we will take you to join the opening ceremony, in which the atmosphere was filled with joy. In the future, there will be many classes designed for the seniors.
Here, most of the recycling volunteers are in their 80s or 90s, but they are full of energy. They have given a dance performance at the opening ceremony of Nantou Tzu Chi Long-Term Care Center. The center is located at the Zhushan Jingsi Hall, and it is the first long-term care center in Nantou. Under the recommendation of a friend, this 84-year-old senior has joined classes, which she enjoys very much.
I feel joyful. The venue is comfortable and gives me a secure feeling.
After the 9/21 earthquake, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the residents of Zhushan district. Now the care center has been established, the volunteers wanted to serve more people in need.
I look forward to see the center become more dynamic. We wanted to let young people interact with the elders. I believe the care center can bring a positive impact into Zhushan Township.
For those who need long-term care services, you can find it all in the center. The care payment is affordable, and I believe the seniors can receive good quality of care over here.
The center is like a home for all the seniors. In the future, Tzu Chi will continue to expand more long-term care centers across Taiwan.
In Pingtung, 77-year-old Grandpa Cai is a solitary senior. He was diagnosed with diabetes and had undergone a toe surgery. Due to mobility issues, Grandpa Cai had asked Tzu Chi's Home Care Service Center for help. After knowing his situation, the home care workers have come to care for him.
The volunteers are busy cleaning the house. From bedroom to bathroom, they have cleaned every corner, hoping to provide a clean and comfortable living environment for Grandpa Cai.
We have gathered all the volunteers in the community and also the home care workers to come here and help.
Grandpa Cai underwent a toe surgery and the surgical wound did not heal properly. He had asked the long-term care center for assistance. After evaluating his situation, the professional home care workers have come to care for him. Here, this experienced home care worker patiently asked Grandpa Cai his needs. The Home Care Service Center, which is located in Yanpu Township of Pingtung, have worked with the Ministry of Health and Welfare to provide long-term care services for the seniors.
As a home care worker, my working schedule is flexible, so whenever I have time or during my day off, I will come and do volunteer work.
Tzu Chi volunteer Yu Shuishou used to work in food service industry for 14 years. After she passed the training courses and received her license, she began to help and care for the seniors in need.
Seeing the suffering of the elderly people, we have learned to cherish our own blessings. I realized that there are still many seniors in our society needing help.
Through each visit, the home care workers have realized what their work values are. Their presence also gave the elders a sense of secure.
Ye Jingxia and her sister Ye Mei-yin are both Tzu Chi volunteers in Zhanghua. They have studied the Jingsi tea ceremony for years. To volunteer at the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion in Taichung, they have asked for a leave of absence from work for many times. Besides inviting a visitor to have a cup of tea, they also seized the chance to introduce Tzu Chi.
Inviting the visitors of the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion to have a good cup of tea, the volunteers seized the chance to share Tzu Chi's environmental protection concept. Ye Jingxia and her sister Ye Mei-yin are both Tzu Chi volunteers in Zhanghua. They became certified Tzu Chi commissioners in the same year. For more than 10 years, they have been familiar with Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture, as they not only specialize in tea ceremony, but also provide long-term care services.
We came here mainly to let visitors understand that it is easy to save the earth.
If the visitors tell us they want to understand something, we will explain to them and let them understand more. After explaining to them, I ask them where to start with the smallest act. They answer starting from ourselves.
The sister duo walk the Bodhisattva path together. Even though they have their own jobs, they still have asked for a leave of absence from work many times to spread Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture.
In Taiwan, Yuan's General Hospital has been providing musical therapy for pregnant women. Expectant mother might experience much stress and anxiety due to changes in hormones. Through music therapy, they're able to relieve their tension and stress, even avoiding postpartum depression.
Sing along with simple music, these women who have just delivered babies are attending a music therapy. From being pregnant to delivering the baby, expectant mothers undergo much stress and anxiety due to the changes in hormones.
At a certain stage, you might be unhappy, or during pregnancy, you had disagreement with your partner. You haven't really resolved the issue, then you might be hurt.
During pregnancy or even after delivering the baby, the mother experiences much mental stress. They have to learn to take care of themselves during that time. The music comes in. Sometimes we discuss the lyrics and guide her to relieve her inner stress.
After Miss Lin gave birth, she took a picture with her husband and her baby. As her friends and relatives pay attention to the baby, they might neglect her. Then music therapy can play an important role here.
We adjust the music according to their bodies and their breathing. This is not comparable to just playing the music.
This class heals the stress and anxiety that you might not be aware of.
These new mothers have relieved their stress with the soothing music. In this music class, every woman is the main character. They'll become better mothers with the best wishes that come with the music.
Virtual reality is becoming more and more popular. In the field of medical education, there's hope for future development as VR is very popular in academic institutions and it's very useful in training medical technicians. Furthermore, government agencies like ITRI are working hard to promote VR technology, extending it into new areas associated with everyday life.
2 university students have been conducting an internship in the radiology department at DaAi Tzu Chi Hospital for more than half a year. Even if they are undergraduate students, they're still very interested in practical operations of this hospital.
Students are quite familiar with the same textbooks, so it's very easy to communicate amongst classmates. But in the hospital, each patient's condition is different, making it more difficult to communicate.
In school, most of the equipment is for educational purposes. There's no radiation. Also, we just use prostheses.
What is learned in school is actually different than real-life experience. In the medical field, operating tables are not just expensive, but come with the risk of radiation. Taking a useful image is something very important to a physician's diagnosis.
Without enough experiences in the beginning, one might have to retake these images again. At the end of the month, you can see how many images had to be retaken, which is a shame.
Chen Sisan used his past experience as an intern radiologist to help train future interns more efficiently. He specially designed a set of 3D images to be viewed through a VR headset, which recreates the actual working environment and how to carry out X-rays on patients.
I think it is very helpful because we can practice by ourselves and we don't need to bother patients.
The steps for getting started are not so complicated, and you can do some simple actions on the internet. Technology will definitely be associated with medical treatment. It will help us train them faster and allow us to complete our examination and help patients access better quality care.
Virtual reality is already helping train the next generation of medical talent. However, those training in these systems still can't experience the touch and weight of a real patient. The The sense of touch still needs to be developed so that people can more easily be brought into a more realistic space. At Itri and Hsinchu, the people responsible for implementing VR research and development encountered challenges when this development plan was first put forward 7 or 8 years ago.
So early on, when you put forward such a plan, they were quite suspicious and said this was like a science fiction movie. Of course, we had to convince them that we could succeed, but nobody believed us.
Itri soon developed VR glasses and hoped to use it in telemedicine. If an emergency situation occurs, the emergency department can immediately connect with professional doctors and treat the illness with supervised emergency treatment at any time. However, the device was too large and cumbersome, as they are currently studying how to miniaturize it. Just like the anime character Detective Conan, multifunctional glasses can actually augment and enhance what one sees. The goal of Itri is to make products that are useful. As long as one wears these glasses, you can also experience VR 360 live broadcast like a concert. They hope there is no delay in receiving the live broadcast, so one might have the feeling of being at the actual concert.
The education industry and entertainment industry, they are eager to accept this because their content is quite unique. But for the general public, they may have little need for VR. So we need to ask the Ministry of Culture to find new entrepreneurs. We should first discuss how to design VR content that is accessible to people. I think there are legal and industry-related challenges that we are currently facing.
The immersive effect of virtual reality is about to affect people's life as the medical community continues to carry out more experiments. Putting on VR glasses also allows us to learn more about a patient's perspective, such as being taken into an intensive care unit and receiving intubation, AEG, and even facing the family's farewell. This film is taken by the medical team of Chile Medical Center to teach more people about the experience of transitioning from intubation to hospice care.
We only had a limited time in this film as we wanted it to put key experiences into the film to allow viewers to experience it.
After the Patient Right to Autonomy Act was promulgated on January 6th this year, patients may have motivation to make their own decisions. This VR film gives them more information. According to Chile Hospital statistics from May 2017, the proportion of those who don't want to be resuscitated after watching the film has increased from 69% to 77%.
Probably about 60 or 70% of people know that their situation will not be better at the end, or there is no way to recover fully. This means about 60% of the people don't want resuscitation. After watching the film and doing animation, there will be a change of about 20% or about 20 to 25 people who have changed their mind.
Virtual reality is no longer an emerging concept in technology. As the threshold for creating new content declines, more progress and breakthroughs will continue, with medicine being just one industry affected by this technological revolution.
In the tutoring class of Kaohsiung Shanling DaAi Ground, volunteers and teachers designed special classes to improve children's concentration. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.